Hello everyone, Sarah here. Thank you so much for joining me for part 2 of my Spellbinders September 2021 card kit. I'm going to get right into it. For card number 4, I started piling up some scraps and I decided that I would start thinking about how to use them up before breaking into more. I like to do this sometimes to just especially if the patterns look really nice together, I try to see if I can find ways of using them up. I find that if I don't, they end up just sitting there and a lot of times they go to waste because I just never think about using the small pieces. I always go right into the fresh sheets. So just to make things easier on myself, I try to use them up while I'm making these cards, if I think about it. This one is following a sketch. It is My Favorite Thing sketch 252, and I will follow it pretty closely this time. Just laying out my strips, I did cut them off camera, just down to about 3/4 of an inch, and then just glued them one on top of each other. Another way you could have done it is matted them and left a space in between each one, and then you could have created a separation that way. You could add like Love from Lizzie stickers or peel off stickers or anything similar and just glue them across. You could do that. In my case, I decided to keep it really flush together and no matte. I wanted to keep it pretty clean on that wood grain, which I really like. I did use a stitch die on that wood grain. That is from Jaded Blossom. They have a really nice, perfect A2 size stitched rectangle. I did also cut a circle using some Lawn Fawn stitched circles. And then I'm using these ephemera pieces to kind of mimic the sketch. So the second circle is going to be that ephemera where there's a flower on the bottom. And then I'm just going to use some ink to just give it some distinction between that and the white stitched circle behind. I just want to see a little bit of definition. I know that the color is off already, but this just helps a little bit more make the distinction. Of course, most of it's actually going to get lost because of the layers that I'm going to put on, like this really beautiful, cute fox hugging its little child. I can't remember what a fox baby is called. I don't know if it's a kid or a pup. Maybe it's a pup. Anyways, I absolutely love foxes. They're really adorable. So when I saw it in this collection, I knew I was going to use it at some point. The sentiment I'm going to be using for this one is Amazing Hugs, and I thought that was really appropriate. Or Best Hugs, sorry, was really appropriate because of the image of the foxes hugging the little baby. I think it's just amazing, and it really fits into the style of cards that I want to make, where it's just because cards. I really like that, and Best Hugs is totally a perfect card style for that. And then I added To My Friend at the top with one of those little foam sentiment squares. I am playing around with the different ephemera pieces to see if there's anything else that I could put down that would add to it without being too much, and this bow was it. I just add a little bow, and what I like is it separates that prize ribbon thing because it's all green. Just by adding that little bow, you've broken it up and it just looks that much better. Of course, I use the pink one because of the flowers in the background. To finish off, I am adding these little dots. I used a hole punch. It's probably 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch hole punch. And then I just use that on some black cardstock, and I'm just gluing that down with some Simon Says Craft Tacky Glue. I think that's what it's called. I absolutely love this glue for embellishments because it's really thick and I can easily put them down and they don't slide on the paper. I will then grab my shimmer pen, and I'm just going to add a little bit here and there on the bow and the circles just to create a little bit of shimmer. It's not glitter, it is shimmer. You'll see it mostly when you're up close. You can see, there you go, right there. Cute. I love this card. And that's card number 4. Okay, card number 5, just looking through my paper pad and picking out the pieces that I like. I really like the tree one, I just didn't know how to use it. So I've cut those down, I pretty much did it half. So it's half of 4 1/4. 3 and 2 1/8, is that it? So I just cut it in half. And then I actually took that gold foil, which I had cut a die on. It's one of those, I think I used it in Cardin 1 or something, but it was white and it said hello. Well, I also cut one in gold, and what it did was it actually created this ripple on the gold foil paper. So I cut it as a strip. I don't know what size it is. I just cut it just thin enough, and I'm going to use that as a border between the top and the bottom layer. What I am going for is a dual scene on this card. The top scene is going to be a snowy outside scene, and then the bottom area is going to be indoors. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cars and trailer on the top, separate it with the gold banner, and then I'm going to add the sentiment, home is wherever you are. And that's the inspiration for this card. I saw that sentiment and I really liked it. I love the fact that it doesn't matter where you are, that is home. And so that is why I created the 2 scene card. So the top is going to be them driving in the snow, going somewhere. And then the bottom one is a comfy, cozy living room with the grandfather clock and the cozy couch. And then looks like, I don't know if that's a heat pad or heat thing with a crock pot on top. I don't know what that is, but I just really like how it looked. And I am trimming the pieces up just so it's flush, and then it won't peek out when I put the gold strip down. I was debating on not putting this basket with the bear and yarn and toys in it, but I decided to put it back in and then just raise the couch up with some foam tape. I really like how that turned out. It created some dimension and just added a nice, I don't know, there's something to it. It just really, really made a difference, really made it nice and cozy. And it really separated it from the bear basket and clock. I am just going to glue the banner down now and making sure that it's straight and covering all the pieces on the bottom seam. I will move it up a little bit, just goes a little bit crooked, and then I'll snip the sides off. It was perfect. The ruffles went all the way across. I was very lucky. This was just a scrap piece of paper that I just happened to notice that was thick enough that I could cut a strip out of. I decided to switch down to the smaller size. So these are the chipboard stickers. And I used the smaller ones because I didn't want to take up the whole scene. I want to look like it's in a distance, them driving in the distance. I really like that in the snow. One thing to take in consideration is if you use these chipboard stickers, I highly, highly recommend gluing them as well, because they will most likely pop off if you rely on the stickiness alone of the chipboard stickers. At least that's what happened with me before. And one of the cards, I forgot to do it on my last month's kit and it popped off. So always remember to glue it. It really helps. And I'm just going to prop that up with some foam tape, and home is wherever you are. That is so adorable, so true. I love it. It's just really, really sweet. I am going to also finish it off with some of these gold heart foam stickers. I love the gold. Little gold accents everywhere. That's one thing I love about Spellbinders kits. So cute. Okay, card number 6. This one, what am I going to do? I am going to grab the blue sheet. I couldn't remember what I was going to do. I have the cards in front of me. I just didn't remember which one was card number 6. So we are working with the blue sheet. And once again, I'm not using a mat. I could, I just didn't feel it. If I were to choose a mat, that's tough. maybe the black. No, not the black. I don't know. You tell me what you think when this card is done, which matte you would have done, because I didn't know which one it was, and I already had that bad experience with using the light blue on the other card. I didn't want to ruin this one. So I took the little heart with the pluses on it, and then I've inked it up with some vintage photo ink. And then I took one of the chipboard frames, using another one of those, and just gluing it, centering the circle. And then I use these little Russian dolls. I think that's what they're called, little Russian dolls. And I'm just going to place them, the parents on the outside and then the kids in the center, kind of overlapping. And it's creating this nice little cozy family. And that one little child is sleeping. That is so cute with their little smile. And that what's really I love is that little hairpiece that sticks up. I love that. It's so awesome. I wanted to use up some of these gold sentiments, and Thanks was a nice one. Actually, I'm not a big fan of these sentiments. I just don't like the looks of them. But I don't hate them. I just not a big fan of them, if you could tell the difference. Anyways, I wanted to try it out, so I used Thanks. It is all lowercase, so it's a little weird. So what I did was I also added the sentiments from All of Us, which is tying in with the little family. And now I'm just using some different hearts, and I'm just plopping them on the perfect angles, so 90-degree angles all around. And that's my little silver. Very simple, very fast card, and I really like how it turned out. Nice when you can make some simple cards very quickly. Okay, for the last card, which is card number 7, this one was fun to make. There are a lot of really cute ephemera pieces in this collection, and this happens all the time. I never know what to do with them. And I think I did something similar with the art kit, and where I took all the pieces I liked and I kind of spread them out in the background. So I'm making my own background. And I really, really love doing this because the pieces just look so great together that when you do this, it looks like a really nice background. Of course, I am using a very interesting shaded plaid pattern paper, and that was because I just wanted to do something really bold, because a lot of these pieces are pink. And so you would think that the safe bet is to use a soft color, like a soft pink or something. But I really wanted to use this pattern paper for this card, for this style. It does have pink in it, in the centers, you can see it, but it's really bold, definitely greens and oranges. And then I used the third piece, which is just that plus pattern paper. And the reason I did this was not because I'm following a sketch or anything. I just happened to be using my Jaded Blossom stitch die set, and it came with the 2 squares. And I never used it yet, so I decided that I would create it. And I also created that layer in the back, the pink soft layer, and that was also using the stitched Jaded Blossom. Now I am going to glue these all down, and then what I'll do is I'll trim it off, trim the excess hanging over pieces. You could have used the vintage photo or any other color ink as well to kind of separate it, because you can see that the heart kind of blends with the background a lot. So you could have just inked them up just to create a separation. That I wasn't thinking about at the time, but that's definitely a suggestion that I would make. So I just trim those down, and I'm adding some adhesive, and I'm going to glue it down. This is a 1/4 inch border, so you'll see the base of the card just around the edges. Doing my best to center it. I did rip it a bit. That tape did not want to come off. It was loving being taped down, so when I tried to peel it, it ripped. But that's not a problem. It is going to be hidden. So now I'm just going to glue those down into the corners. I don't know exactly how the positioning is going to be, so I do play around with it a bit with that second square. And then I will figure out where it fits perfectly with that sentiment. I was thinking in the corners, then centered, and you know, they were all okay, but I decided to just have the sentiment on the the right hand side, just showing a little bit of that 2 squared layer. And then I really like these little cupcake pieces, but I didn't know where to put it in the background, so I decided to put it in the forefront and then just prop up the sentiments saying, wishing you the happiest of days. And I do. I wish everyone the happiest of days. If even you could have just 1 minute of awesomeness, that's what I wish for you. And that's it for this card. So that's it for all 4 cards this time. I have one more video to show the last 3 cards, and I already have it already. I just need to do the voiceover. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has created some inspiration. I hope you had some fun just seeing the different creations that I have created. And so until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.